So a while back, around Black Friday, I did a video where I put together a tool bag for my kiddos, something they can keep in their car. I wasn't really thinking at the time of doing a product video or product videos in general. I've done some reviews. The different companies have sent me some stuff and asked me to review it, and I did that and gave them feedback. But, you know, deals of the week or what tool do you need for this? Like, that's just not really been my thing necessarily. More trying to educate and promote DIY in cars and getting your car back on the road. But that was actually a fairly popular video. People seem to like it. And I got a lot of comments about it, both in YouTube, but also outside of YouTube. And so put a pin in that for a second. At about that same time, you know, it's getting the holiday shopping season. And my family was asking me, my kids and my wife, and asking me for a list. Hey, Dad, honey, we need some ideas, because apparently, I guess, I'm kind of hard to shop for. So I got thinking though, going back to that list, like maybe that's actually true for a lot of us. Maybe our loved ones have a hard time shopping for us, or maybe you have a loved one in your life that you have a hard time shopping for. So I thought maybe I'd put together a list of some stocking stuffer. These may not all fit in a stocking, but you get the idea. Budget-friendly, small type things that are pretty universal and almost any one of the car guys and gals in our lives could use, even if they already have multiple of them already. Because some of these, honestly, you can't have too many. We'll go kind of different categories of things, and then within those categories, I'll give you some samples, some stuff. I'll show you stuff I have. I'll show you some samples of other stuff that, hey, kind of wish I had. If you guys want to buy me something, you know, Merry Christmas to Ryan. I'll put links to everything that I have links for down below, including a knife that essentially broke the internet from Walmart. I'll show you that. You know, whether you buy something off this particular list or just gives you some general ideas for what you might want to get that person. So let's dive into the list. First category I want to talk about is lighting. You can never have too much lighting. We're always losing them. I always wish we had more. If you have them, they're always dead. And you know, you either swap the batteries out or go find another one or plug it in and charge it. So having backups is nice. You see me use a variety of different kinds of lights in these videos. From magnetic ones like this one, this light bar. These come in a variety of different sizes. This is I believe it's an 8-inch one. They come in 10, 12, like longer light bars. And you can get a bunch of different ones that have hooks on the end to hook on the underside of your hood. And then they come smaller versions like this where it isn't a light bar, it's more of a puck light where it has a magnetic base to it and it's just a round or sometimes square light. Those could be really super handy for small, you know, working underneath the vehicle, working on in the engine compartment. You know, most of these cars are metal, so you just can stick something on there and it'll hold the light where you want it. I showed this in that video with the tool bag video. This is that small flashlight with a magnetic base on it. It's got the clip. You can clip it on your hat if you need to for a headlamp. Regular flashlights, for the most part, the smaller the better for working in the shop. Big flashlights are nice for working outside, or if you need to, like, you know, fend off a bear or something. But about as big as I get inside the shop just because they just get hard to hold. I also showed this as well. I use these from time to time, a headlamp. These are super handy where you can basically put a lamp on your head. So it's got the floodlight style. It's got different brightnesses for that. I lost the button. Where'd the button go? There you are. And then you got a spotlight. Nope, not yet. There's a spotlight. And then it has an option for motion sensor. So you can turn on and off with motion. That's pretty cool. These are also super cheap. They're really, very lightweight. Also, the thing I like about them is you can just wrap them up and they tuck away nicely into a toolbox, a bag, wherever you want to, you know, a pocket. Stuff them in a little cubby inside your truck. They can be super, super helpful. The point is, any one of these things are like I said, you can't have too many of them. So no guy is going to be bummed out about a nice flashlight. The next thing on that list is tool storage. So I got this big toolbox here, this big tool chest, and that's nice, but sometimes stuff gets a little unruly in here. So I'll give you a couple different examples of stuff. There's these socket holders. This is a 1/4 inch one. It's like a 1/4, 3/8, 1/2 inch. They come in various sizes. They're all numbered at the top, so you can get a quick glance as to what socket you want. And that makes it really handy to find and easy to put away. I don't have great organization for all this crap yet. Extensions and ratchets and stuff, that's coming later, but that got the sockets up off the base and they're not rolling around or in a big pile where I can't find them. And it's very easy to see which one you're missing, like your 10mm. These are fairly tall, so you have to have a deep drawer. This tool chest has a deep top drawer here. And if you don't, then they have other ones that lay flat and the sockets lay flat inside the drawer. But obviously it takes up more surface area than this does. If you have a tall drawer, these can be really handy. Here I've got all of my wrenches, and I have bought these various holders. None of these came with these. This pack, this is an old Stanley set I had. It just came in a box, like a folding plastic case, which was nice, except it's super bulky and hard to get them in and out. They had to click in and out of the plastic. So I bought these, and they're easy to see where they are, easy to find a home for them, and it keeps it from rattling around. And then the same thing, I have the smaller ones for the stubby wrenches. These things are really cheap. Like, this isn't real high end. You can buy real high end organization like foam and all that kind of stuff, and that's great if you want to do that. I'm just trying to keep this on a budget. This is at least a first attempt at some organizing, kind of the all everything drawer. So this is pliers here, nippers, needle nose, electrical stuff, Sharpies and pens and pencils, knives. This was all just sort of a mess in this drawer. And then I got this set of these little containers, and these containers interlock together so they don't slide around as much. Each one kind of holds the other ones in place. I have a bunch of them. The kit came with a bunch. I have a bunch of extras I haven't used yet. It came with a bunch of these little ones, which I haven't found to be terribly practical other than for small tools, for small parts. And I just don't love having those loose. I have sealed containers for those. So I haven't used those very much. Mostly I use these elongated trays. Another thing I've got picked up recently, and these are one of these stupid things that I didn't have for probably, I don't know, I only had these for a few years. And this qualifies as one of those tools like, why did I not, what was I thinking? Why did I not have these for like a long time? And now I bought a bunch of them since. And that's these little magnetic parts trays. They come, again, various sizes. Here's a little one, here's a big round one. I think I've got one on this side, another big round one over here. And I just end up sticking them on the toolbox for storage because they're magnetic. You don't have to find a special home for them. I've dropped enough nuts and bolts into oil pans that I don't know why I waited so long to have these things, but they're super handy. And I think some of them I got at Harbor Freight, some I got online. You know, they're $4 or $5. Like, they're really cheap. So, and again, another one of those things, like if somebody bought me 10 more of them, I wouldn't be mad about that. On tool storage, the other thing is these power tool holders. Now, I've got more than just power tools in here. This has gotten a little bit disorganized recently, but I've seen these online for a while, and I just thought they were kind of gimmicky until I bought one. And then, like, it's so handy. It's got a plug strip on the top where I can mount. I've mounted these down. You could set these up here, but I didn't like that because they kept sliding around up here. And so I mounted them on the wall. It's also easier for me to see when they're charged. Just pop them in and out. And plug them into that plug strip up there, and then just plug that in down here. But man, it keeps everything pretty much up and out of the tool chest because these tools can take up some space. Then I got this last year. I think it was last year before. I think my son got this for me for Christmas. This is just like a 3D printed tray to hold Milwaukee 12-volt batteries. They have some for Ryobi batteries. They have them for the 18-volt Milwaukees where they slide in instead of drop in. So they can get all the different configurations, and this was, a few bucks. So that is really handy when I have way more batteries than I have chargers, and then I can pop them off there, right? And then I can be charging another, so I have multiple batteries charging, multiple batteries staged, and they're not floating around all over the top of the desk that's already messy enough as it is. Now, maybe you have somebody that's a bit of a car detailer. I'm kind of a little bit anal about cleaning the cars, and I do carry a lot of different stuff to detail them. And I got this a little while ago. It's just this rack, and it holds spray bottles and regular bottles in the top and keeps them, again, off the floor. You can get a lot more stuff into the same space by going up versus out. That way you don't take up space in your actual floor space in your shop. It often, for most of us, is more valuable. Like, we just don't have enough of it. I have a ton. Not all of it fits in the rack. What I keep here, though, is the things I use the most. So detail spray, car shampoo, interior cleaner, window cleaner, basic stuff that I use kind of all the time, or at least that I use the most, I'll keep in this rack. And then the other stuff, either the gallon refills or the extra stuff that I use kind of sparingly, I keep up there. But again, I have more bottles than I have storage. If somebody bought me another one, like, okay, I'll have more cabinet space, because I'll take some of those bottles out and put them in that thing. So even if you already have one or more than one, it never hurts to have another one. So next on this list is various small hand tools. These are the kinds of tools that we lose all the time. We either lose them forever, or we carry them and then we set them down and then forget where we set them down and then never see them again. They're around somewhere. Like, I can't tell you how many tape measures I own. Several, but I don't know for sure how many. I can tell you how many I know where they are, though. 2. One's in here, one's in the house. I know right where they are. I don't know where the rest of them are. They're around. I probably carried them somewhere, using them for a job, clipped to my belt or my pocket, took it off, set it down, never be seen again. It's like socks. They just sort of vanish into thin air. So even if you've got all of these, even if the person in your life has all of these things, they can always use more for when they lose that one, you've got the backup. I'm a Leatherman guy. I mentioned this in that video. I have this Leatherman. I used to carry it pretty regularly. I don't carry it as much as I used to. It's a little bit, I found it's gotten a little bit heavy, and the thing I used the most out of it was the knife. So I don't really carry the Leatherman as much as I used to, and they're kind of expensive. But there's a bunch of alternative solutions. This is one I got my son. It's a multi-tool. It's from Wit Tools. I don't know how you pronounce that thing. This one's kind of cool. I mentioned I've got the Flissa one that I put in their bags. That sort of has the dark earth brown and green and whatever. And it's basically a Leatherman Wave clone, and I'll show that here as well. But this one's a little different. First of all, it's much bigger. Here's a Leatherman. There's this one. So it's quite a bit bigger, which for big hands isn't so bad. My favorite thing about this particular one is that most of the tools are accessible from the outside. You don't have to open up the pliers, get your screwdriver out, and close it back up. They just open up from out here. So you've got all kinds of different tools. You've got cutters, you've got screwdrivers, you've got Phillips head, you've got scissors. There's a big knife blade. It's also nice. That's nice too, because it's got the nice big blade. It's got this little lever here on the inside that locks. It's got a serrated knife, and then this lever here unlocks it to close. It has a bit holder, and then it comes with a series of small bits. So you've got a small Torx, a couple of Phillips, a couple of flat. It looks like 2 small Torx, and then it comes with this pouch that holds the bits in a little pocket on the outside. It's a little bit bulkier. It isn't really so much pocket or everyday carry friendly. But to throw in the glove box of your truck or your center console or maybe in a tool bag, that could be really handy. Even if you just want to go the knife route, standard utility knife, anything uses razor blade style blades. This is a super cheap, super old. It probably wasn't super cheap. This is a Stanley. This is back when they were made in America. This is probably 20 years old. Nothing special about it. You got to use a screwdriver to get open, change the blade. Kind of cumbersome, but good and sturdy. You've got these flip open style. This one has kind of like a Leatherman, has a screwdriver option in the back side. And these are nice because these have push button interchangeable blades. This one's a Milwaukee brand, but there's like 1,000 that are exactly like this from different brands. You can find them all over the place. They're pretty handy. There's little tiny ones that are basically just glorified box cutters. And again, just like all those other things, like I can't tell you how many knives I have. Way more than I know where they are. I know that. I don't really carry the Leatherman much anymore. I have a new pocket carry. This is, I said before, this is the knife that basically broke the tool world on the internet. This is a $10 knife from Walmart, from Ozark Trail. It's plastic handled. It's probably a cheap blade. It is a very, very comfortable, very slim. You can open it with either, it's got the thumb, I don't know what you call that, but the little thumb tab. You can open it with either side. If you're lefty, you can open it with the left hand. And then it's retractable with this pin lock here, and you can flip it open. It is a very, very nice knife. It's got a deep clip on it for in your pocket, and it is my new pocket carry knife. Like I said, it was $10. So if it lasts me 6 months and I dull it out, open in the Amazon packages, okay. They're a little hard to find though, as it turns out. They were out of stock for a long time. They popped back up. I bought 4 of them. It took 3 weeks to get all 4 in 3 different shipments. So they can be a little hard to come by, but if you can find one, I'll put a link down below to it. If you can find one in your area or get it shipped to you, somebody in your life will really like that. The other one, it's super nice to have. There are some high-end versions of these. You can pay good money for a ratcheting screwdriver, but this is just a small little stubby ratchet screwdriver. This has the blades on the back side, kept inside it, and you can pay all kinds of price points. Don't have to spend a ton of money. These can be really handy. Again, it's one of those things you just toss in a tool bag, toss in a truck. My wife bought me a pack of 10mm sockets one year as a stocking stuffer. It was a bunch of them. It was like, I think this was 3 of these or 4 of these regular sized ones, and then another 3 or 4 deep well. Kind of on a tongue-in-cheek ruse. It was kind of a joke, right? Kind of a gag gift. But I was actually really excited about it because this is the one we joke about. These are like the hide and seek champions because we're always losing them. It is the one you use the most, especially if you work on cars. I probably have now 8 or 10mm sockets, and I don't have enough. It's pardon my mess over here. I mentioned in that video, you shouldn't follow me for actual organizational ideas because I'm not very organized, despite what I said about my toolbox. This is a mess. It needs to be cleaned up. This is just miscellaneous kind of stuff. I mentioned these again in that bag video, or I just threw a few of them in the bag, but they came out of this package. I have used these way more than I thought I would. And it's another one of those things, like I've had the long hook end bungee cords that I don't really like that much. I feel like they don't really hold very well. And these I have used way more. I've used them to hold like a tarp down. So you just run it through the grommet on the edge of the tarp and run it over the bar of the trailer or bed of your truck or whatever you've got. And these work really great, and they're so small and compact. They're very easy to store. They're easy to pack away in a bag or in a toolbox or throw in your, again, center console of your truck and just have some spares if you need them. Another kind of strap that I have used a lot lately are these cord straps. You wind up a cord and then you wind the cord around itself and you tie it off and then it gets all tangled up. And this is a air hose, but still, they're very, very sturdy. I've just used hang by this hook. This has been hanging for a while on a pretty heavy hose. And this is old and messy, but it's called Wrap It. They come in various sizes to hold various loops of stuff, extension cords, hoses, garden hose, whatever you got coiled up, you want to wrap it up and hang it on something. The other thing was over here I wanted to show you. I don't know why it's laying over here, probably because I forgot to put it away. And you've seen me use this. If you've watched very many of my videos, you've seen me use this a bunch. This is probably half missing, yeah. In fact, there's one laying right here. And that's one of these trim kits. I've used these way more than I ever thought I would. I just used a screwdriver and wrapped a towel around it. These have been really handy. I've used them for like interior panels, for popping clips off. This is an older set. It isn't the best set in the world. There's actually better ones out there that I keep saying I'm gonna get, but I don't. If somebody wanted to buy me one, I wouldn't be mad about it. They're just heavier plastic. These are a little bit, sometimes a little too flexible, and they don't pry as much as you'd like. The whole point of them is that they'll pry stuff off without breaking or marring it. So they want a little bit of flexibility, but this one's a pretty cheap one. I won't link you to that one. I'll throw a link down below to the one that I wish I'd got, because it's about the same price and it's much better. Wipes, hand wipes. A buddy of mine turned me on to these. He keeps them in the back of his truck. He basically works out of his truck. He does a bunch of maintenance and construction type stuff and works pretty much out of his truck. And he's just sitting in the back. And because he's going from job to job, but then he's getting back in his nice truck and driving to the next job, and he's kind of dirty and these can clean up. And I never really put that much stock in it. It was nice for him, but yeah, I get why he'd want it. I just use the standard, like, you know, Gojo, lava soap, the hand cleaner stuff that we all have used for years. And I bought a pack of these, and this is, I think, my third pack. I love these things. These are great. You can clean tools with them. You can certainly clean your hands with them. They come with, these are the power scrubs, so they have like a scrubby side on one side. And if you got to really grind something off, almost like an abrasive pad, and with soap in it, and it comes clean, I wipe my hands with a paper towel, and we're good to go. So I don't have to go outside, wash my hands, rinse them off, come back in, dry my hands. This is one of those things that I don't know why I didn't have them for a long time, but I'll never not have them now. I could do this for like an hour and walk around the shop and talk about, you know, different tools, but you don't want to watch that. And I know we kind of blasted through this list in a hurry. And hopefully nothing else, this stirs up some ideas in that big old brain of yours, and you'll figure something out. And if you have something to suggest that I didn't include, comment down below and help some fellow gift-giving strugglers out. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. God bless you and yours, and we'll see you soon.